Good morning, everybody. Let me just get settled here. Good morning, good morning. All right. Thank you. I know. I am asleep. It's a long week, and we got to get through this tutorial so I can get ready for LA Fashion Week. Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. I first just want to say that I appreciate you guys for tuning in every morning. Thank you so much. Today we're doing a cut crease using brown and gold. I've already done this entire side of my face so you guys can see. Thank you. Good morning. So it could be considered a neutral look because it's not over the top. It's not using a lot of bright colors like we did yesterday. But if you can see, for those of you who don't know what a cut crease is when you have a sharp line in your crease. So as I come in closer, right in here is not blended. There's a solid brown line and there's a solid line where the gold shimmer is. So that's what a cut crease. There's various different ways to do a cut crease, but I'm going to show you guys the simplest way using a brown liner and blending it out. Top of the morning to you too. So before we get started, if you guys could share with your friends on social media and with your followers here, how you do that is you tap the guy at the bottom right corner. I already see the hearts coming up, so thank you so much. How you give hearts is you tap the screen. Be quiet, Scotty. How you do that is you tap the screen, and what that does is it helps me become a preferred artist here on Periscope. So let's get started. As I said before, I've done this side of my face. So this side is 100% done with foundation, blush, everything, okay? So I've already filled in my eyebrows on this side, and that's the only thing we've done. We are going to use my favorite pencil here, which is Chestnut by MAC, to create the crease. So since you're doing a cut crease, right in here is where you're going to draw the line. Now, don't be upset if it's not perfect. The goal is to just give yourself a guideline for the crease, okay? So this line that you're going to draw does not have to be 100% perfect. It's just a guideline. You'll clean it up when you start adding the gold and when you start setting it with a brown eyeshadow. So here we go. Right in your crease, and do short strokes. So as you're drawing your line, the reason why you do short strokes is so you can have a steadier hand. It's harder to do one fluid line. The next part is that you want to bring this one down into the corner of your eye and stop right there, because you're going to blend that, so you're going to blend it in. Then for this look, we're going to curve around to the bottom. And you'll make these lines perfect, so don't stress. Then after I do that, just like what we did with our black smoky eye, we're gonna fill the top area lightly and then we'll blend out. So there you go. The next step is time to blend before we set. Let me find my blending brush. I'm using a different blending brush today. It's from Morphe brushes. This one right here As you can see, it blends, but it has a sharp point right there. The reason why I want the sharp point is because I'm working in a smaller space, and I want to be able to control where I'm blending. Sometimes when you use a bigger blending brush, you are trying to blend the entire area, but there's specific areas that I want to blend. So that's why I want to use a pointed blended brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm leaving this actual line here alone, and I'm just blending the top areas. The best way to blend is to do the windshield wiper motion, which is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now I'm going to switch to a larger blending brush to do the outer corner. And I think I lost it here in my mess. Okay. This one, we're just going to go finish it out and go back and forth. And remember, we're not touching this area, just on top. So I'm going to be working out of the 252 Ultimate Eyeshadow Palette by Coastal Scents. This is the really big one. It has tons of beautiful colors. It's 3-tier. And I am going to be, where's the brown I used? Okay. To set the line that we just made, I am going to be using this brown right here. To set it, we need a smaller brush. I'm gonna work with a smaller brush here once I find it. We're gonna be using this brush. This is a flat, stiff brush. No, I'm lying. We're gonna be using, yes, this palette, I want to say is 20 bucks and has a ton of color. We're actually going to be using this angled fluffy brush, and we're going to work from just the tip of the brush, so just the end of the brush, tap in the product so you guys can see. The palette's from Coastal Scents, so it's coastalscents.com. And we are just going to tap because we are setting the brown. You are welcome. So we're just setting the liner that we put on, and I did use a lip liner. And just to make the transition a little better from your brow bone to the crease, I'm going to use a lighter brown color, also in the same palette. It's this one right here. A larger blending brush, and just go back and forth right on the edge of the brown liner. Just blending it out so there's no harsh lines in that area. Okay, so we're done with that part. So before we add the gold, we are going to move to our, just dropping brushes. No, I'm getting to that right now. So because I used a brown eyeliner to create the guide for our crease, I did not use a primer. The reason being is sometimes when you're using a liner or something like that for the cut crease, it kind of, it moves around too much and it kind of consumes your eyeliner. But now we will use a primer, and I'm using the same one I always use, which is Nude by NYX. And I am only going to put the primer in this space right here. And this is how I start cleaning up the line that I've created. So you want a very minimal amount. I usually start at the bottom and then work my way up. And this is where you start adjusting the line. So notice as I'm doing this, I am leaving this brown right here. So on this side, I want a softer transition from the brown to the gold. So I did draw this brown a little bit further in using the edge of my eyeball to start the brown. So when I'll put the gold, I'll blend the two, and I'll show you exactly what I mean in just a moment. Right now we're just adding the primer and making sure that we're getting our lines together. Alright, so we're done with that. We can move on. So the next step is to add our gold shimmer. I'm using, now I will use my stiff flat brush, and I'm going to still work out of my 252 palette. I don't know what I did with all my brushes. Here we go. So this is my flat stiff brush, and still working out of the same palette. It's going to be, I might have forgot what color I used. Okay, so we're using this gold right here. Unfortunately, because there's so many colors, there are not names for these eyeshadows, but I mean, it's worth getting this palette. So we are just going to pat on the shimmer. Pat it on and make sure that you are keeping the lines, when you get up to the brown, that you're keeping it straight. And then I'm going to start putting a little bit on the brown, using my, just making sure that the transition between the gold and the brown is a little smoother. Okay, so we're doing good so far. Just checking for balance, meaning making sure that both eyes have the same amount of gold on them. Now I want to darken up my crease just a little bit more. So I'm still working out of this palette, but I am going to a different layer. So this is the one that's on the bottom, and I'm gonna use this a black color, just a little bit of it. Almost looks burgundy, but just a little bit. And this is a matte color, and I just am using an angled fluffy brush, and I'm going to, yay, yes, please. And if you do try it, make sure that you tag me or send me the picture at deandragiselle@gmail.com. I want to see how beautiful you look. So we just darkened up the crease just a little bit. I filled in my brows with Anastasia Beverly Hills, what is this? Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown. This is what it looks like. Okay, so we've set our area. We have our cut crease. Now we're just going to add just a lighter shade right in here and blend it out. That is out of a different palette. I used what is this? Sauce Box. And what color is it that's being used? I believe it's called Rain. And we are just going to use a smaller blending brush move that out of the way. We're going to use a smaller blending brush. So I'm using this color right here and going right in the corner. Just a little bit of product at the end of the brush. Tap it in there and then blend it on in. And I don't like to have a solid corner right in here, so I'm just going to lightly blend up into the brown. I will say this technique can be a little bit time consuming your first time trying it, but it gives a nice look and it's something different. All right, and for today, you guys know I usually don't do this, but we're gonna line the bottom line. Before we do our eyeliner and our lashes, because I want a wing eyeliner, we're going to pause on that part and do our foundation and everything else. Right now I'm just adding the black to my waterline. Some of this stuff out of my way. So as always, we're starting with the primer. For our foundation, I'm using, what am I using? Smashbox Photo Finish. And today I'm using my Revlon Color Stay foundation, and I mixed two together. I used Cappuccino, which is what number is that? 410, and Caramel, which is 400. Oh, I missed that question. If you could re-type it, or Scotty, if you can send it. Yeah, golds are really pretty, golds and browns. Today I'm using a foundation brush. It's flat. When you use a brush like this, you kind of have to work a little bit harder to use it. So notice I'm doing like more of a patting motion, more of a stippling motion than wiping it back and forth, because you don't want to have lines on your face. Yes, this look can be done with other color pencils. You can also do this look with eyeshadow. It just takes a little more time. Is it better to do your eyeshadow first and then foundation? I find that it's better to do my eyeshadow first and then my foundation, just because I tend to work a little bit messier, but it is a preference. Some makeup artists will do your foundation and then your shadow. Actually, when I went to makeup school, that's how they taught us, but I found I work better with my eyeshadow than my foundation. So now that my foundation is on, we're gonna now move on to our, is there a dupe for, I have not been able to find a dupe for MAC's Gold Deposit that I really like. I find that, now I haven't been able to find it. That doesn't mean there isn't one out there. There's what I used, NYX bronze, our highlighter, and it was a little too silverish. I feel like MAC's Gold highlighter, Gold Deposit, is like a very pretty true gold. Everyone else has had a silverish tint, and I really didn't like that. So our foundation's on. I'm switching up my concealer, and I'm using MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer, and it's in color NW35, so Neutral Warm 35. And we are just going to try to squeeze a little bit. The thing about this, if you want to make the eye bolder and more dramatic, what you can do is use darker colors, or you can keep adding color. If you want to stick to these colors, you can keep adding to get more pigmentation out of it. Another thing is you can use a different type of primer. There's a primer called eyeshadow brightener. Yes, thank you, Scotty, because I did miss that question. There is a primer that what is it called? It's called an eyeshadow brightener, and I've showed it to you guys before. I forgot what look I was doing, but you can use that before you do all of this, and that will kind of make your eyeshadow pop even more. So you can use eyeshadow brightener, or you can continue to add color to get more pigmentation out of it. Those are your two options. So, back to the concealer. We are just going to apply it with a flat, stiff brush. Thank you. So the reason why I do like this concealer is because once it's on your face, it is there. It stays all day and it does not crease. So this is a good investment. I just wanted to switch it up today. I go back and forth between the two. No, I don't. I have not done videos on airbrush makeup, and to be honest, I haven't tried airbrush makeup. So now we'll blend it in. I did a straight line here, a sharp line, and I know this is going to, this may look crazy, but what it's going to do, I'm wearing the MAC Pro Longwear in W35. So right now I'm blending out my concealer and I'm leaving this sharp line here. It's going to be my guideline for my wing liner. The other thing I like about this concealer versus the Toffee by LA Girl is that sometimes with LA Girl it can crease a little bit, so you have to be careful about the amount you use, but I still use both. And I'm just setting it with a translucent powder, making sure I don't get rid of this sharp line. So for my eyeliner, I am using Makeup Forever gel liner. It's just in black. Oh, you have a creasing problem with your... Scotty, can you put that question back up if you caught it? Oh, you missed it. Okay, I missed the question about, or the statement about a creasing problem. So I'm just using a eyeliner brush, not the angled one. She has the same problem with creasing. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I thought you were talking about creasing with your eyeshadow. Yes, sometimes creasing can be from one, too much product, two, from not spreading it around enough, like you have, again, too much product and it's not spread out evenly. And then sometimes some consistencies just happen to crease. So that's why it's important after you put it on and use just enough that you set it immediately if you have that problem. Also, sometimes it can be from not blending. So I'm using that line for my guideline. See how far I went out on the other side. In short strokes. Then you will come back and connect it. Wing liner does take a little bit of practice. I prefer to do it with liquid, but I ran out of my liquid liner. I have not tried Inglot's eyeliner, but I've heard great things about the brand. So the hardest part about I think wing liner. I've heard good things about Inglot, so I'm sure it's probably going to be amazing. The hard part about wing liner is to make sure that both eyes have the same amount of thickness, right? So you don't want one liner to be thicker than the other. Okay, so now that we're done with that, just gonna make sure that's nice and clean. So I didn't add any product to my concealer brush. This is a brush that I use concealer. I'm just cleaning it up with whatever is on the concealer. Thank you. So we are done with that. Let's apply our lashes. Today I am using 213, and this is called, you guys can't see, Stardale lashes. And normally when it comes to lashes, moisturizer, I use Dermalogica oily to combination skin moisturizer, and then sometimes I also use Mary Kay's oily to dry skin moisturizer. So I'm just applying my adhesive to my lashes. And we're gonna let that dry. So yesterday at work, my lashes, I don't know what happened, the corner of my lashes were lifting because I was tearing up or whatever. I don't know what was going on with my eyes. So I decided to use hair glue because that's all I had at the salon. And do you know that those lashes stayed on all day? I'm usually not a fan of using hair glue to apply lashes, but I actually wasn't mad at it. But I did a really, really thin layer. So I wouldn't do it on a daily, but if you tend to have watery eyes, I think I wouldn't. I don't mind it. Before I'm like, I don't suggest it. No, I have not tried Star Glue. Someone else was telling me about that before. I usually don't. I've been scared to use hair glue because I felt like it would be too much, but I wasn't mad at it. So I'm placing my lashes in the center. It's the business, huh? I'll have to check it out. Oh, Scotty, how do you know I can do behind the scenes in LA Fashion Week? Thank you. I got these tweezers from a store called the Daiso store here in California. I'm not sure if they're everywhere. And the tweezers were like 99 cents, if that. Alright, so our lashes are on. Now we are, let me see what step we're on. Oh, let's go ahead and finish our highlighting. Some of them were my natural lashes. So I put on flares this week, and they're falling off, and I haven't taken them completely off. So we are highlighting our chin, Cupid's bow, top of the nose, and the other eyebrow. Still using the same concealer. Now with this concealer you do have to move quick because when it dries, it's done, it's stuck, it doesn't blend, it's harder to blend. And I'm using a beauty blender. Yes, it is. It is okay to put mascara on flares, but I find since the hairs aren't human hair, sometimes it gets clumpy and stays there. Like it doesn't look, it makes your lashes not look as natural. So I usually don't add mascara to flares, but I will add it to individual lashes. Okay, let's get the other eyebrow highlighted. The final look today will be posted on my Instagram. So if you are not my friend on Instagram, please make sure you follow me so that you can see all the final looks. See some pictures from behind the scenes of LA Fashion Week. I will be tuning in periodically today when they allow me to here on Periscope, so you guys can see what goes on behind a fashion show, which will be fun. To blend, I used a beauty blender. So periodically throughout the day, I will be showing you guys what's going on in the back of Fashion Week, which will be pure chaos. So I won't be able to stay on, but I just want you guys to see what's going on. So that will be fun. No, I'm only doing hair for Fashion Week. Because it's so much chaos and you usually do 30 models per designer, anywhere between 15 to 30 models per designer, you can't do hair and makeup. They make you choose. So for this particular fashion show, I am going to be doing hair. So you guys will get to see that. It's funny you say that. When it comes to hair and makeup, I used to watch, well, my grandma used to make me set her hair every Saturday for church, and she taught me how to do pin curls and things like that. That's true, sometimes I do. So I just kind of fell in love with it when it come to hair and makeup. But I just always played in it. There's pictures of me pretending to cut my stepfather's hair. I would play in my sister's hair, all of that. So my grandma taught me a lot when it comes to hair and makeup. She was just always flawless, and I wanted to be like that. You know, she always made sure her makeup was on point. Okay, so let's set our foundation using, I just put on a translucent powder, but we're going to set the rest using the Sasha banana powder. Or is it Buttercup is what Sasha calls their powder. And just for an added highlight on the brow, I'm going to take this Rain color from Saucebox, and I'm going to take just a little bit, and I want to add a highlight right here. Thank you. Buttercup. This Buttercup is like a yellowish tint. It's so, the light is so bright here, you guys might not be able to see it. But Buttercup is a yellowish tint. Okay, so let's quickly do this contour because I have to hurry up and get out of here. Sasha makes that. Sasha Cosmetics make the powder, the setting powder, and this is my Color Effects palette. I feel like when it comes to teenagers, I'm a little strict. So when it comes to teenagers, the no makeup look is what I think teenagers should work on first. So they can have a little bit of blush. They can, you know, a tinted lip gloss. I probably wouldn't let my daughter, if I had one, get into lashes, things like that. The no makeup look is the better choice for them. And one, it teaches them the foundation of makeup, meaning how to put it on. I feel like teenagers need to first love their features before they start covering it up. I I agree. Maybe I can do it. I appreciate that topic. I will. To be honest, when it came to makeup, I loved it, but my mom was not playing that. I was only allowed to wear like foundation, and then when I started wearing makeup, she took me somewhere so I could learn the proper way to put on makeup, because her thing was, if it's going to be right, if you're going to do it, it needs to be right. Right now, I'm adding blush. Sorry, I'm rushing through this now because Scotty just let me know that it's about that time for me to start heading out to Fashion Week. So I'm using Fever by MAC. Yeah, I also, these kids are growing up faster in the sense of like their body shape and stuff. My body did not look like that when I was growing up. Yes, I go ahead, old school. You should be. That's too much, because you know what? The older they look, the more attention they're gonna get from older guys, and that's a whole nother issue. All right. So this is the Gold Deposit by MAC. And I believe I didn't miss a step. No. The lip color I'm going to use, I'm not going to put it on right now. I'll show you guys on my final look, just because I didn't get dressed today, so I don't like to put my lipstick on before I eat and all of that for the day. But I'm going to be using Snuggle by LA Girl. It's a matte lipstick. Is it called Snuggle? Is it called Snuggle? Yes, it's called Snuggle, and I'm going to use my chestnut liner. It's Gold Deposit's the business. My chestnut liner for my lips, and I'll blend them together. You guys will see that on my final steps or my final look on Instagram. You guys have a great weekend. I will be coming in throughout the day and showing you guys. Gold Deposit is from MAC. Gold Deposit is from MAC. I will be tuning in all day and showing you guys what's going on, and how LA Fashion Week is going. Tomorrow, Monday, we'll be back Monday 7 to 7:30 a.m. Someone had asked about a ombre lip, so I'll do an ombre lip. And then on Tuesday, I will do what should be in your makeup kit when traveling. So you guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Preferred lash brand, I don't have a preferred lash brand. No, thank you for tuning in so I can have someone to talk to. I don't have a ideal lash brand. I do the ones from the beauty supply that are like anywhere between $1.99 and $2.99. I do not spend $25 on lashes. Thanks. Oh, Marcus, hi. I can't read. If I couldn't read, I didn't know who you were. So that's just my preferred thing. Lashes only last a week, so I'm not really willing to spend $25 for a week, and sometimes they don't always apply good. So anyways, follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, Deandra Giselle, on all social media. Exactly. Hair store brand works great for me too. On all social media, if you guys have any questions or topics, you can email me at deandragiselle@gmail.com. And I will get back to them within the day. So, please be sure to email me any question or topics. You guys have a great day. Bye, beauties. I will see you guys on Monday. Actually, I'll see you guys throughout the day. Bye. Have a good one.